morning, ladies and gentlemen of St. Genevieve. St. Genevieve was, when we were French and Spanish, slavery was allowed. And even after the Americans came in 1804, slavery was allowed. Slavery had been an issue for 80 years in America. And even when Missouri became a state in 1821, the Missouri Compromise was done because of slavery. Later on, in 1850, there was another act that it added to the Fugitive Slave Act across the whole nation. Then there was the 1857 Dred Scott decision, often called the worst decision by the Supreme Court ever. And then in 1860, a guy from Illinois, Abraham Lincoln, was elected, and he was anti-slavery. So in April 16, 1861, Fort Sumter was shelled by the Confederates. And on August 14, 1861, General Fremont in St. Louis wrote Colonel Marsh in Cape, "Sir, you are hereby directed to send a detachment of 250 men of the Zouaves, one field piece, to attack the force of rebels in St. Genevieve County. Lieutenant Colonel St. James of the Southeast Missouri Rifles Regiment will act as guide. Transport will be retained for the troops at St. Genevieve. After executing the above order, the officer commanding the detachment must take possession of the money from the branch of the Merchants Bank of St. Louis at St. Genevieve and bring the same forthwith to St. Louis." They're gonna be filming a quarter farm. South face.
I was informed there may be a rebel camp in this area. Where is the rebel camp?
There ain't no rebel camp nearby, except at Pilot Knob.
Are you all loyal to the Union? Or are part of you of that rebel scum who is causing all this trouble in southeast Missouri?
I think the scum are you boys in blue.
Yeah, what are y'all doing in our town?
You will see. Mr. Rozier, open this door now or you will be arrested. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Can I be of assistance?
We are in this town. We have been ordered to remove all the money in this bank and transport it to St. Louis for safekeeping, away from all the local secessionists and the rebel army.
You have a very blunt delivery, sir. But I think you are sorely mistaken. I cannot allow such thing. I do not have permission to turn over these funds to you. Surely you have.
This document is from the owners in St. Louis ordering you to comply with my orders.
Looks very official to me, but I don't know how we can accommodate you. No, I don't. I have not received any information from the mother bank, so I cannot be of assistance. I'm sorry.
We are taking the money now.
You can keep this.
Soldiers, go in there, help Mr. Rozier get the money.
Real. Lock the safe, please. I'll have you know, sir, there's $58,313.30 in this box. And I am responsible for every penny of it.
Very good. You are welcome to come along if you wish, sir.
I will accompany it all the way to St. Louis.
But this money now is in the possession of the United States Army.
I think you have the wrong information. Ladies and gentlemen, I will protect your funds. Do not worry about this. I am taking personal responsibility for every last penny in that box. You can't expect me to carry this to the river landing.
Is there a wagon available in this area? Oh, I see one. Soldier, go get the wagon.
Madam, you are not obliged to offer that wagon.
We will take it.
For the use of that wagon?
Absurdity. Absurdity.
Yankee strong. I'm gonna go for that one. Northern aggression at its finest.
I cannot believe this is happening. But, as I say, you want to help me with this, young man? How about you, sir?
I ain't a sir, I'm a private.
Oh. Well, every man has his dignity, I told.
Black Republicans can't come into our town and take our money.
We can and we are.
Who do you think you are? Coming in here telling us what to do.
The United States Army.
Come on, folks. Meet me at the landing. We'll get our money back. We'll show these blue coats how real men fight. Yankee thieves.
Sergeant, get that rebel. You may need assistance.
You too. Sergeant. Stop or we'll shoot.
Looks like they've abandoned their fun.
Stop or we'll shoot. Halt. That worked.
Arrest that man and march him back here. keep an eye on him. And if he runs off, you may shoot. Now, I have something to say about the conduct of this town while we are away fighting the rebels. Mr. St. Jim, will you post a proclamation? Sergeant, place the men at attention. Attention orders.
What? Attention? Attention orders?
Proclamation. Headquarters, St. Genevieve, Missouri, August 15, 1861. To the citizens of the city of St. Genevieve. On my arrival at this place, I found such a disposition on the part of parties who sympathize with the rebel forces as to seriously alarm the Union. Men for their safety of their lives and property. I deem it my duty to warn all persons who may in any way be connected with such forces that they will be held individually responsible both in their persons and property for any outrage which may be committed on Union men here. When reliably informed of such, I will not hesitate to return at once to this city and retaliate in the most summary manner. It will be no excuse that they did not assist the rebels. They must prevent any outrages on Union men or take the consequences. John McDonald, Major Commanding Forces at this post.
Well, is that it? Is all you got to say?
No, sir. Mr. St. Jim is informing the participants here of their duty.
Well, let's get on with this charade.
Be patient, sir. Don't forget what you have seen and heard. I will come back if need to.
And I promise you, I will be back with your money.
And when I do, all the Southern secessionists and sympathizers will be arrested and taken to the Gratiot prison in St. Louis. Heed to my orders, and we will get along.
Sir, I have distributed all of the proclamations you made. Take the money.
bring it back sometime, sir.
We will safeguard it, sir.
Thank you much.
And
Our people depend on that. Where are they going to buy food? Do you care about that?
take it up with the provost marshal, sir.
Well, he's just kind of a nobody. He ain't going to do anything.
We will have a conversation.
Okay, sir.
But our duty today was to take the money to St. Louis for safekeeping and to protect it and keep it away from all these rebel Southern sympathizers and the rebel army. Thank you for your attention. So, Sergeant, form the men.
Call it.
I'm perfectly capable.
Sergeant,
Yes, sir.
put that rebel in front of the wagon.
Yes, sir.
Throw them in the river, float down to Dixie.
All right. Ready?
Pull that wagon.
Rebel's gonna pull it. I don't know, sir. He might start running. We had to shoot him.
He is under guard,
Okay.
and he's been warned if he tries to escape, he will be shot.
All right. Rebel's on the ground. Fix bayonet.
I suppose I'm a rebel too then, since I'm going to walk right alongside this money.
As you wish, sir. Sergeant, march the men to the landing.
Yes, sir. One, two, truck. Forward. March. Wagon, stop, sled. Wagon, go. Go. Start forward one.
Never fear, I will return with every penny.
So the money did go to St. Louis. As he mentioned, it was $58,700.30. That is worth $1.9 million in today's dollars. Next week it'll probably be $2,300,000. St. Genevieve never had a battle during the Civil War. It was a stopping place for soldiers that were going to get on the steamboat to go down to Vicksburg and Natchez. And later during the war, in 1864, Union forces came back to town and they took over our courthouse. And they stayed there and they put their horses on our lawn by the courthouse. And we didn't get money for the rent of that until 1906. We do thank you for coming today. Up the street we have a camp. We have names of Civil War soldiers from St. Genevieve. You can see what a soldier's life was like. At 1 o'clock we'll have a fife and drum concert. So please come back and enjoy that with us. Thank you for your attendance today.
mind telling me who you are?
I'm Rule Smith.
Would you mind telling me a little bit about the pieces you brought
These
down?
are exhibit of my family. It's all about GAR, the Grand Army of the Republic. After the Civil War, the GAR started in 1866, and it was a fraternal organization for veterans of the Civil War. I have my great-grandfather, Bodeker. He was a veteran of the Civil War. He was in the Illinois Voluntary Infantry. My great-grandfather, Smith, James A. Smith, he was in Illinois Cavalry. So all these things are basically from the Bodekers or the Smiths. This is a national encampment, the 32nd National Encampment in Cincinnati, Ohio. That was in 1898. Here's a Memorial Day pin dated 1909. This is the GAR souvenir spoon. As we all know, you buy souvenirs when you go places, and this is from the National Encampment. That's the GAR spoon. Here's the GAR badge. GAR postcard. This was a hat. We thought at one time it was a Civil War hat, but we think now it was a GAR hat because both great-grandfathers were post commanders of Chapter 212 in Illinois. This is their pictures. Some GAR buttons, which I don't know if they were Smith or Bodeker. We don't know. They were in a jewelry box. The Civil War belt buckle. This is a GAR veteran's hat badge that you wore on your hat. And over here are basically, this is an honorary discharge certificate for Charles D. Bodeker, 1865. These are all the skirmishes that he was in, and he was in infantry. This is his picture right here. It's got Grandpa Bodeker. That was my grandmother's dad. And this is in a soldier's uniform. This is a contribution certificate. Way back when, you could donate so much money, and that money would go to building this monument and would have his name and so forth on it. The problem of it with this was, as time went on, they lost the money. They didn't know where the money was, so the monument was never built. And they said 2 people went to jail because of, they must have taken the money. And this is just a camp commander certificate saying that C.D. Bodeker was in post commander of 212. And then down here we have an 18-pounder Civil War cannonball, a 3-inch cannonball. Here is a cannonball rammer who would ram these cannons up. And then this here is a tether. A lot of people don't know what a tether is. A tether is when you had a horse and you didn't have a wagon or a tree to stand by, you would put a rope in here or the reins, and then it's quite heavy, and this way the horse would not take off. It's called a tether. So that's kind of interesting too. Again, these are all basically items from the Smith or Bodeker side, and they were from post 212 in Chester, Illinois. Anything else, Charles?
No, thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hi, would you mind telling me who you are and a little bit about your display here?
My name is Gary Shelton with the St. James Camp number 326, Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War here in St. Genevieve. And my display is just some personal possessions that I own. I like it because this here's a Civil War carbine. It's called a Burnside. It was invented by General Burnside in 1857. And this is what some of the rounds look like. And that's the kind of a picture of them. And if you know, it's a little hard to tell, but he had what some people call mutton chops, like big old sideburns. And that's where we got the term sideburns from, because his name was Burnside. So these are some of the things that go along with this. This is a cavalry weapon. It has a saddle, has a ring on it for when you bore the strap. How you would load it is you pull the hammer back. This little lever right here, you push it down, and that opens up like a breech block. And then you would take the round like that there, put it in there, and then close it back up and fire it. It's a good weapon for the cavalry because it's short, and they can shoot it without worrying about swinging it and hitting their horse in the head. And so that's pretty much it. We have kind of like what we do, some of the things we do here in town, or not in town, and I think our activities that we do, and we try to, we're a direct descendant organization of the Grand Army of the Republic, and we just try to keep doing things to honor the Civil War veterans. Most of us are Union descendants of Union veterans of the Civil War. And that's kind of what our task is as an organization, is to keep alive the memory of the soldiers who fought for the Union Army. Some things we do as a camp, we get tombstones for graves of soldiers that have unmarked graves. We take care of tombstones. We're actually in the process of doing what was the last soldier of Perry County. We already did the one for St. Genevieve. He's buried up in St. Mary, the last guy who died that served in the Civil War, and that's kind of what we do.
All right, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.